Let me now invite the session chair, Professor Sabeha Mufti. She's a professor at Media Education Research Center, University of Kashmir, and has exemplary academic and research experience of spanning around, over 3 decades. And as I said earlier, she's fortunately been my PhD supervisor and continues to be my mentor. I request ma'am to preside over the session. And Professor Mufti has multiple national and international research projects to her credit. She has conducted research for Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, and worked on projects from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. She's also had a project from SEMCA and did a wonderful project with Hoot Media. Her book, Media and Its Audiences, A Rural Urban Study of Kashmir, is a landmark work on understanding audiences at the grassroots, and it draws insightful references from across this region and is kept in the libraries of media schools here. Ma'am, I request you to deliver the opening address and define the canvas for the session. Professor Mufti.
Thank you very much. A very warm welcome to everybody, and thank you very much to the Global Communication Organization for inviting me to this event today. I'm a little unwell, but it's a great opportunity to be getting this chance to speak to you all. I'll be a little brief in my speech because there's a lot to go ahead in the session. So thank you very much to the whole conclave for giving me an opportunity. Digital interaction and new ways of processing and interpreting information have brought forth a paradigm change in the communication scenario, and this has led to an entirely changed perspective of media per se. Studies in communication worldwide are proving that instead of using more systematic traditional media channels, practitioners are now switching to interactive, real-time strategic instruments connected with social media like blogs, Twitter, Facebook, etc. The big question here arises, how is all this impacting the structure of the content? This is the million-dollar question. Now, information does become referential, but multiple questions arise here. Can information be altered and distorted, or be shaped by contextual perceptions, or disrupted by environmental factors? Now, when I say contextual perceptions, these contextual perceptions could be the controllers of the media, the people who finance the media, or the environmental factors could be the political environment, or the state and the non-state actors who are very instrumental in bringing about changes in the media scenario as we are seeing in the whole subcontinent at present. Now, can we really frame a reality through the media? Can we pack the content in a certain way to be able to program a specific response? For instance, we create a mindset that the power center wants, but the power center has its own agenda. But then where does the agenda setting function of the media go? And what is the role of the audience? A lot of researchers on the audience contemporarily have proved that the audience today is at crossroads, because media, a favorite of everybody, is today becoming a big question mark is being posed before the media, that media is not becoming so much of a credible source of news as it has always been. Now, can we change the perceptions on a given topic? These are multiple questions that arise, not just for me as a media researcher, but these are the questions I gather from the grassroots, because I'm running around all through the terrains, the mountains and the deserts and the cities and the villages, trying to meet audiences and analyze media content and see how audiences perceive what media say. Is it all possible or credible to provide different versions of truth, which switch from black to white or from penalty to reward? One agency says this is to be rewarded, another agency says that it is to be penalized. Now, we are actually looking for where is the truth, or better said, who is right and who is wrong. It seems that we are mapping a postmodern definition of representation. I mean, how is media representing reality? and what actually is the reality? How is it being framed? Now, especially in the era of the post-truth, we can see that there is a logical manifestation of post-modernity, wherein the idea is the truth and fact are relative. Now, this is becoming part of the public discourse. The whole public discourse is confused. The agenda setting function of media is undergoing a paradigm change. We've been seeing media setting the agenda for public discourse. But what we are seeing now is that priming and framing, these are huge functions of the media. But framing and priming is done and made use of in a very colossal manner by vested interests, state actors, backstage players, non-stage actors, and they are all playing their pivotal roles. More so, in the pandemic and the infodemic, we have dated with startling events. In our recent memory, we had the migrant labor scam. Sorry, we had the migrant labor crisis and its reportage through the media, and how it all went, how it all was reported, and what confusing signals it sent all over. Then we had the Marcus reportage, how confusing it was, and how there were polarized versions of the whole reality through different media. Now we have these multi-layered reportages at the local, at the regional, at the national, and the international level. And what does the audience member, how does he filter what is to be accepted, what is to be rejected? Now, we had another crisis of the oxygen cylinders and the health crisis relating to the pandemic in May this year, and there have been a lot of other events pertaining to political reportage and hundreds of other events leading to the panchayats and the political reportage and the economic reportage and so many things. Now, all this has created a big question mark about the actual functioning of the media. But the media is there, the media will be there, whether it is the pre-truth era, the post-truth era, or the truth era. The big question is objectivity, the credibility of the media has to be sustained. And it is for us media professionals and media researchers to see that media function in the most credible manner, and the media functions of agenda setting, priming, and framing, which are the order of the day, which is the latest functioning of the media. It is made to function, media is made to function, the agenda are set in the most positive manner, and priming and framing is done in the most logical manner. I hope in this era where lot and lot is being said and lot is being interpreted, we are able to make the best use of media. Thank you so much.